بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we'll be continuing our weekly sessions of the Amthal of the Quran, the examples of the Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses different comparisons and examples and parables to convey important and crucial messages to all of us and presents them in a way that makes it easier for us to understand and to absorb. Today, inshallah, we are looking at an example that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives in Surah Ibrahim, verse number 24. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَمْ تَرَى كَيْفَ ضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا كَلِمَةً طَيِّبَةً كَشَجَرَةٍ طَيِّبَةٍ أَصْلُهَا ثَابِتٌ وَفَرْعُهَا فِي السَّمَاءِ تؤتي أكلها كل حين بإذن ربها ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس لعلهم يتذكرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off this example different from any other example that He gives in the Quran by saying, have you not seen the example? Have you not heard of the example that Allah gives? Immediately calling our attention to the importance of the message that is coming ahead. Have you not seen how Allah gives the example of a good word? مثلا كلمة طيبة, like كشجرة طيبة, like a good tree, like a healthy tree. أصلها ثابت, whose roots are firm in the ground. وفرعها في السماء, and its branches reach up into the sky. Different tafsir have been given about what kalimatun tayyiba, the good word, is over here. The most prominent tafsir of this given by Ibn Abbas anhu is that this is referring to La ilaha illallah. And by extension, Mufassirin say referring to our iman, the inner iman belief that each person has. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that the kalima tayyiba is like a tree. And this tree, it is the inner tree of our faith. Asluha thabit, whose roots are firm into the ground and the branches reach up into the sky. This is the example of a person whose iman is strong. It is well founded. It has reached the deep roots of the heart. And it is not wavering anymore. It does not waver. Just like that tree whose roots are deep in the ground. Asluha thabit. Nothing can shake that tree anymore. The strongest of winds can come, but if the tree is rooted deep enough, it has a foundation deep enough, other trees around it, smaller ones, may fall, but this one will stay standing. That is the example of a believer who has built their iman in this regard, who has built their inner faith, their conviction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and of their deen. They are firm now in that standing. Nothing can shake them. Conditions may come, different halat, different circumstances may come, but this person's faith stays strong. It doesn't let them waver. وَفَرُعُهَا فِي السَّمَاءِ, its branches reach the sky. Mufassirin say those are the a'mal, the deeds that a person does. Those deeds are up in the heavens. This person now is operating at a whole different level. Their deeds aren't down here anymore. What they are doing, they're at high levels. And they're reaching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It goes on. تُؤْتِي أُكُلَهَا كُلَّ حِينٍ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهَا. This tree that is firmly rooted in the ground and its branches reach up into the sky, it gives fruits in every season. It gives fruits in every season. That is the example of the khair that comes out of this person. At every time of the year, in every, again, circumstance, it's coming all back to that firmness that a person gains. Any time of the year, this person is doing a'mal, there's goodness coming out of them. This is the tree, the example of the tree that Allah gives of a believer. On the flip side, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on. وَمَثَلُ كَلِمَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ. The example of a khabith word, a lowly word, a vile word. كَشَجَرَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ is like a rotten tree. اجتثت من فوق الأرض ما لها من قرار. It has been uprooted from above the ground. It has no stability. This is the example of kufr, or even of a person who is not firmly rooted in their faith. They get influenced easily by things around them because they have not built that faith. Any condition, any winds can come and then knock them over. They have not developed those deep roots in their heart of their iman that they can use to fight back those strong winds, those strong influences that are occurring around them. Especially nowadays, when influences out in person and online in social media are more than ever before. And there are ideologies and, all the isms out there that are pushing, and many of those are rooted in kufr. A person who doesn't have that stability in their faith, in their iman, will be affected by those. Especially the youth who are studying in schools. It used to be only in universities, now it's at every level. But as a part of, and because I'm going through this right now, I know what it's like. As a part of the training you receive to be a teacher here, they teach you that these are all the correct ideologies that you have to accept, and you have to teach the students ahead. This is something becoming common, becoming normalized. And only when a person has that strong faith can they tackle them. It's not easy. Right? The hadith says that a time will come when it will be so difficult for a person. The example of how difficult it will be for a person to hold on to their faith will be like the one holding on to a burning ember. It's going to be painful, almost impossible to do. But that is what it will take to get through the fitnas and trials and tribulations. Now, the strong rooted tree, what makes a tree strong? Water is probably the most important thing. Light, air, meaning an effort is needed on that tree to make it strong. Just planting a tree itself won't make it such that it can withstand any wind. The watering of these trees these trees is made up of the remembrance of Allah, the gatherings of dhikr, the gatherings of ilm, of knowledge, the masajid, Islamic institutes, anywhere where you go and you get that boost. That is you watering your faith, your inner tree of faith. And that is something that is crucial. Every single person needs this. Making that effort, going to places where that effort is being done, talking about iman, inviting others, makes yourself firm. Otherwise, we will end up like that tree who is not only not deeply rooted, it is barely standing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ujtuthat, first of all, the word ijtatha comes from jutha, which means a corpse. Something that has no life in it. The tree is completely dead and void of any life, void of any benefit to anyone either. And ujtuthat min fawq al-ard, it's uprooted from above the ground. 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 It's u It didn't take much effort to knock it over. You didn't even have to dig into the roots and get them out. It was just pulled up from the top and thrown like that. So when we get continuously exposed to the countless elements in the environment around us, outdoors, indoors, on our devices, in social interactions, in every aspect of our life, in school, in work, at work, anything we are doing, our tree is getting weaker and weaker. Every single day, whether we know it or not. Those interactions, the things we are seeing, the things we are doing, the things we are saying, the tree is getting weaker and weaker. The roots are dying slowly, slowly, slowly. It is the only way to strengthen those is to ground oneself in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ramadan is a time where this is made a lot easier. This is made a lot easier in Ramadan. You have daily sessions of tafsir before Taraweeh. Attend those. Benefit from those. That's your juice, that's your refill. Just like, and you feel it. When you sit in any gathering of ilm, of knowledge, of dhikr, and you get up, you feel like, whoa, your iman is temporarily at a different level. And then you go back out and you're exposed again to all the elements, and you lose that again. But it's a constant battle. It's a lifelong battle. It can't be done by just attending a few lectures, even studying just for a few years. That doesn't do it. The forces of batil that are working against us are countless, and they are perpetual. They're not going to stop anytime soon. In fact, as the ummah gets further away from the time of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the conditions are just going to get worse. We have been told this in hadith. It's going to happen. We see it happening. Think just back to 20 years, so many of the kharafat and the vials that are being pushed so strongly in the world today didn't exist. But now they're mainstream. Laws have been passed about them. If you speak up about them, try to convince someone, you could be imprisoned. This is a clear example, a clear materializing of this gradual decay of the spiritual level of the ummah. The connections that people had to masajid and to ilm and to dhikr and to just devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is getting less and less and less. People's reverence for deen is getting less and less and less. Importance for salat, importance for ilm, importance for zakat, sadaqat, everything is getting less and less and less. This is all because of those elements, those forces that are working, either actively or passively. Whether you notice them or not, we are surrounded with them. And our tree is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Every effort is being made to knock it over. But our job, our task is to do everything that we can to keep it firm. Keep watering the tree. Another meaning of kalima tayyibah is the Quran. The Mufassirin gave it, refers to the Quran. And the Quran itself, even just as we're seeing through these examples that we're talking about, each one conveys such a deep message that we could implement, practice in our life right away. And they're all geared around getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, becoming more steadfast in our deen. The Quran has that. Quran is that kalima tayyibah. When a person understands the Quran, and I say this again and again, that just reading the Quran is not enough. How many times are we going to read it without understanding it? Allah is speaking to us. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. It comes 90 times in the Quran. Oh, you who believe. What is Allah saying to us? Do we even know? The Quran is one of those ways to water our tree. It is one of the most important ways, the strongest ways to water our tree, to make our deen strong, to make it firm, and to make it able to withstand any efforts that are being made against it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly give us the ability to make the efforts that are required to keep our iman strong. There's no doubt today, like I said, it's harder than ever to do this. That just means that our efforts need to be harder than ever before as well. We need to strive harder than before and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us, to make this month a means of us getting back on track to take account. One thing that every person must do in the month of Ramadan is take time to do muhasabah, to take account of your life. The rest of the year is too busy. Ramadan is busy as well. But if we're not going to do it in Ramadan, it's never going to happen. Take time out by yourself, no one around, no distractions, no phone, no family, no friends, and just think. Look at your life. Look at everything you are doing in your life. What is there that is helping your deen, that is helping your iman? What is there that is damaging it? And moving forward out of the month of Ramadan, what changes can we make to make sure that we are in a better condition going out of Ramadan than we were coming into Ramadan? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability, give us the tawfiq to do this and to learn from it and to continue on this path. May He make this path easy of tackling and fighting the fitnas and tribulations that exist today, and ultimately get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. هذا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.